Hi everybody, welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alicia, and in this week's live lesson we're going to talk about how to use the verb have in English. I'm going to talk about using have, has, and had in this lesson. We have a lot to cover and a very short time to do it, but I hope that we can talk about this grammar. I'm going to cover 3 points in this lesson. First, I'm going to talk about using have to show ownership in present tense and in past tense. Second, I'm going to talk about using it to make perfect tense, present perfect tense and past perfect tense. And finally, we're going to practice using have to express responsibilities, like I have to do something. So throughout today's lesson, during the lesson, please make sure to send your example sentences in the chat. I will try to check them and read them. And please make sure as well as you join to like and share the video so that other learners can find this week's lesson. As you join too, please send a message in the chat. We're going to begin in just a moment. While we wait, a couple of announcements. First, this week there is a 31% off sale for our members on our website. So please check this, the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. The 31% off is for premium and premium plus options on our website. So you can find all the details, all the plan details from the link below the video or above the video. Check that out if you are interested in learning more on our website with the other resources we have. Hi everybody, I see lots of people in the chat now. Great, Avi from Indonesia, cool, hi. Jafar, hello. Carmen's, Ahmed, Arsh, Vicky, Jorge, Mohammed, Tanke, great. Freddie, hello. And on Facebook, I see many people on Facebook too. Hello. Guero, Assad, Mubarak, Pride Prejudice, Diana, Ibrahim, Omar, Dan again. Great. Hi, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us this week. One more announcement, a quick reminder. I try to remind you every once in a while. I shared this photo a while back. But this is from our monthly review series. So this is in our studio here where we get like audio and video messages from our viewers, from you, every month. And we read, or rather we listen to them on this iPad. I listen to them and we kind of react to them and we share them with our audience. So every month there's a different challenge where you can record yourself, either audio or video. This month we've asked you to please tell us about your home city or your home country. So if you want to participate in our monthly review, please check the monthly review video on the English Class 101 YouTube channel. I'm looking forward to receiving many more audio and video messages from everyone out there. This is a really cool series, so I hope lots of people participate. Okay, great. So with that, as I said, today we're going to talk about using have, has, and had in English. Please don't forget to like and share the video. I'm going to share the video and then I'm going to start the lesson. The first part of today's lesson is going to be focused on using have to show ownership. So to show that we possess something. So I'm going to talk about each point in terms of present tense and in terms of past tense. So let's begin. Let's start over here. Part 1, showing ownership with have. If you want to express ownership in present tense, you need to consider the subject of your sentence. So there are 2 patterns to think about. I, you, we, and they. If these are your subjects, if one of these is your subject, you need to use this pattern for a positive statement. I plus have plus your direct object. This is the most basic way to show ownership with have. For example, I have a watch. So I, subject, have, verb, a watch is my direct object here. We follow the same pattern for these subjects too. You have, we have, they have something. If we want to make a negative we need to change the sentence. We position don't before have. So I don't have direct object. You don't have direct object. We don't have, they don't have, and so on. So this is for a present tense statement, something that's true now. I have or I don't have. Then let's compare this to a different subject. So if my subject is he or she or it, we need to change the verb have to has. He has, she has, it has, plus our direct object. So the thing we want to express ownership of. So we do the same thing for a negative. We need to position a word before have, but please note in the negative form, we don't change the verb here, even though we change the verb when we're making a positive. So not doesn't has. Have remains the same in the negative form, but this part changes. So he doesn't have, she doesn't have, it doesn't have something. So these are the two patterns for positive and negative statements to show ownership now, to show ownership in the present. For example, she has the files. Subject she, has is my verb, and the files, the object of ownership. A negative example, he doesn't have my keys. He doesn't have my keys. So this is present tense ownership. A couple of people are sending examples in the chat. Awesome, thank you. Someone on Facebook says, I have a good teacher. Woohoo, like you, thanks. Angel, hey, I don't have a car yet, but my sister does. My sister does is how we would say that. Someone says, I have a rocking horse. Okay, cool, good. Someone says, my sister has a toothache right now. Okay, good, nice examples, nice example. Hani Ali, hey there, one of our members in the chat, welcome. Other examples, ownership, she has a wonderful voice. Oh, thanks, that's cool. I don't have problems. Very nice, good examples, everybody. Very nice examples. I don't have a car or a girlfriend. Oh, nice one, nice examples. Okay, so this is present tense use of have to show ownership. Let's compare this then to past tense use. Past tense use. So talking about the past. So not true now, but before. This is a bit simpler. When we want to make a past ownership statement, we use the subject plus had plus your direct object. So here notice have becomes had. So had is the past tense form of have. So subject plus had plus direct object. To make a negative statement about the past, we use subject plus didn't have plus direct object. So we often use a pattern like this to talk about our childhood or to talk about a specific point in time in the past. For example, I had cats. I had cats maybe when I was a kid. I had cats when I was a kid. So we often give the specific point in time, when I was a kid. Or he had a bag earlier. He had a bag earlier. Now he doesn't have a bag, but he had a bag earlier. So these are the patterns we use to express ownership in the past with the verb have. Great. I see some present tense examples and some past tense examples, like I have time to study a lot. Okay, good. She has homework. Great. You have a red marker. Yes, I do. Okay. Great. Ibrahim on YouTube says, I had a car 2 years ago. Don't forget your article. Yeah, I had a car 2 years ago. Okay. Someone said she had my sandcastle. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay, it's grammatically correct. Cool. I don't know what it means. Very nice. Okay, someone says we had a puppy. Good, 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 good. Someone says I had a bad day. Yeah, good examples. So there are some expressions like to have a nice day or to have fun or to have a meeting. These expressions use have. They don't mean like owning that thing. It's not like an object we can keep or have, but we do follow the same rules for past and present tense with those expressions. Juan says, how about have got in American English? I'm going to talk about that in part 3. Have got is used to talk about responsibilities. Okay, so that is the first part of our lesson, reviewing how to use have to show ownership. Let's take one quick break, and then we're going to talk about part 2 here. Someone says, can you please explain has again? I'm going to explain has 3 more times today, many different uses, and this video is being recorded, so you can check it later. Okay, a quick break to remind you, if you missed it earlier, this week there is a 31% off sale on Premium and Premium Plus memberships on our website. So the Premium Plus one has a certain level, a certain rate, and certain options. You can find all of the details and compare it to the Premium level from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. So check it out. There's a lot of differences. I'm not going to read them all, but check that out if you are interested in learning more English with our resources at EnglishClass101.com. Okay, so if you're just joining today's lesson, we are talking about have, has, and had. I just talked about using it to show ownership of something. I'm going to talk about it for making the present tense, present perfect tense. I'm sorry, talking about perfect tense. So present perfect tense and past perfect tense next. If you have not already, please make sure to like and share the video so other learners can find it. Okay, let's move on then. So part 2 for today is about perfect tense. So a reminder, perfect tense I know is challenging for many students, for many learners. A reminder about present perfect tense. We use present perfect tense to talk about, one, general life experience. General life experience at a non-specific point in time. So we use it commonly to talk about travel, to talk about our work experience. Those are really good ways to use present perfect tense. And we also use it to talk about things that started in the past and continue to the present, often with the progressive tense. So I'm not going to talk a lot about the functions in that sense today. I'm going to focus on how we make these patterns today. If you have questions about that, we have live streams about using perfect tense on the English Class 101 channel, and I've done some lessons about this too, so please check that out for more. So let's review how to make present perfect tense first. As we talked about in this part, in the first part of today's lesson, we need to think about the subject of our sentence. Let's start by making a positive statement. So again, if my subject is I, you, we, or they, we use have plus the present participle form of a verb. I'll show you some examples of this later. If we want to make a negative, we change have to have not. Here I'm using the reduced form haven't. So I have present participle, I haven't present participle. Please note this is a key difference. One key difference is here, present participle verb. This is a present participle verb right here. When we were talking about this point, notice we have plus a direct object. We're showing ownership. So the grammatical structures of these sentences are very different. Also, the negative structures are different. I don't have shows ownership. I haven't shows a lack of experience. So these are a couple of different ways to understand the type of sentence a speaker is using. Let's compare this then to when our subject is he or she or it. When the subject is he, she, or it, we use has instead of have. This is the same as part 1 today. We use has plus, again, the present participle form of the verb. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I've written present here. Sorry, this should be past. I just realized this should be past participle. Past participle. Sorry, I realized I was reading something wrong. That should be past participle. Okay, so we use he, she, or it plus has plus our past participle verb form here. Okay, when we want to make a negative, we use he, she, or it hasn't plus past participle. Past participle. So again, we need to consider our subject here. Has, when the subject is he, she, or it. Have, when the subject is I, you, we, or they. Okay, so let's take a look at a few examples of this. First, I talked about using this to express your travel experience. This is a very common way to express travel experience. I have been to Thailand. This is a very common way to express travel experience. So here, I is my subject, have is used here, and then my past participle verb form. I have been to Thailand. I have been to Thailand. So when you make sentences like these, don't forget your preposition to. I have been to Thailand. I have been to Europe. That's one point that many people forget. I have been to place. Another example, a negative example then. He hasn't called yet. He hasn't called yet. So here we're showing lack of experience. Something we expect to happen has not happened yet. He hasn't called yet. He hasn't called yet. So notice my subject, he. My negative is hasn't. So hasn't is the reduced form of has not. He has not called yet. He has not called yet. Okay, one more example. She has finished her homework. She has finished her homework. Again, my subject, she. Here, have changes to has because of the subject change. And finished is my past participle verb form. She has finished her homework. So this is, again, present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. Again, let's compare this to making past. So let's look at past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. Again, I wrote present. This should be past. Sorry. Past participle. So when we make past perfect tense, we don't need to worry about these differences with the subject. We don't need to worry here. We just use subject, but here again, we need to change this part to past. So have becomes had in past perfect expressions. Subject had plus past participle, or subject plus hadn't plus past participle. So this is a pattern that is commonly used with the progressive form, as in this example, we had been hiking for an hour when it started to rain. So a common way that a pattern like this is used is to talk about an interrupted action. So something that was continuing and then another action stopped it or interrupted it. In this case, our continuing action is here. We had been hiking. So in this case, I'm using this progressive form. We had been hiking for an hour. So this is a continuing action for 1 hour. And then right here, when. So when shows us the point at which an action was interrupted. We had been hiking for an hour when it started to rain. So the interrupting action, the thing that caused the change, is in simple past tense here. When it started to rain. So again, this is past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. The change here is using had. Subject had or subject hadn't plus the past participle verb form. This is different from present perfect tense, which uses have or has to make positive statements and haven't or hasn't for negative statements. So I will try to check your examples. Some good present perfect examples. Good. You have taught English for 7 years. Great. I have been to Togo. Great. Nice examples on YouTube. I had seen something funny. Okay, could be. Others. Bisek said, oh, sorry, I missed your comment. It was something, yeah, thank you. I have been to Thailand means the subject is still there. No, it sounds like I have been to Thailand sounds like I have the experience of visiting Thailand. I'm not there now. So I have been to a place just refers to the experience of going to that place. Other examples. I haven't been to France yet. Very nice. Nice negative example. That was from Siham on YouTube. On Facebook, I see lots of people saying good morning. I don't see example sentences there. One on YouTube. I have took. Make sure you use the past participle form. I have taken your keys. I have taken your keys. Uday says, I had seen you last year. Okay, it could be. So past is a little bit tricky to make example sentences with because, like I said, we often have a past perfect or past perfect progressive point paired together with something like that interrupts that action. So this one's a little bit tricky. Okay, so this is how we use have, had, and has to make perfect tenses, present and past perfect tenses. Okay, so we'll take one more break here and then we'll move on to the last part, talking about responsibility. Responsibility. Oh, nice example. I have been learning with you for 4 months. Nice one, nice one. Okay, let's take a quick break then. As I said earlier, to this week we have a special 31% off sale on Premium and Premium Plus memberships at EnglishClass101.com. So there are a few differences between those two options on our website. So please take a look at the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook for all the details about those memberships. So you can get more resources for your English studies. So if you want to, for example, get like lesson transcripts or lesson notes or have a teacher to connect with online, you can find all of that information from the link. So please check that out. This week it is 31% off those memberships. Okay, good. So we'll continue on to the third part of today's lesson. Third part will be responsibilities, have to and has to, and then past tense as well. Okay, some other examples are coming in with perfect tense though. I have been working at this company for 2 years. Great, good. So lots of progressive or continuous examples there. Very nice. Someone on Facebook, Shun Lai, had a really nice example of past perfect. I had been watching a movie when my mom arrived last night. So like I'd been watching a movie alone when my mom arrived last night or something. That's cool. So there's that interrupting action and a continuing action. Nice. Okay, very nice examples. Thanks everybody. Let's continue to our last part for today. Responsibilities. Let's begin with present tense again. So when we want to talk about a present responsibility, we can use have to, or as someone asked earlier today, like have got to. In American English, we don't really use have got to so much, but we do use this reduced form. We say I gotta, which technically is grammatically incorrect, I got to. But that comes from I have got to, which is more common in British English. We tend to use have to, or I like have to, as it sounds in everyday speech, a little more often. So to make a responsibility statement with have and have to, we need to again think about our subject, as in I have to, you have to, we have to, they have to. And when we want to make a negative statement to express no responsibility, we use don't have to. So this follows the same pattern. The ownership one I talked about at the beginning of the lesson. This don't is the same don't that we saw there. But keep in mind, we're using to. I don't have to. So these expressions are followed by a present verb. a present verb, simple present tense. So you don't need to use past tense or participle, nothing like that. So I have to go to the bank, or I have to teach a live stream. I have to plus a simple present tense verb. Again, with the negative form, this is the part that changes. I don't have to plus simple present tense verb. It says simple present. Sorry, it's hard to see. Simple present tense verb. So try to send some examples. Oh, good. Some people are sending examples. I have to check it. Good, good, good. I've got to go home. Good. I have to eat food every day. Good. I have to go to work on time. Perfect. On Facebook, I have to go home. Good. I have to finish my plan. Good. I don't have to eat today. Really? Why not? Okay. Good. Good examples. Grammatically correct. I have some questions, but grammatically correct examples. Someone says I have to cut down on watching YouTube. Oh my. Okay. I have to go to school. Good. I have to learn English every day for work. Good. I have to put my daughter to bed. Good. I have to go to the mosque to pray. Good. I have to wake up early in the morning. Wow, you guys are pros, professionals with have to. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, so now let's move on to practicing this with a different subject. Instead of I have to, let's practice using it with he, she, or it subjects. So again, we need to conjugate this verb. Have to becomes has to in the positive statements, and it becomes doesn't have to for negative statements. Again, we finish this with a verb in present tense, or if it's easier for you to remember, has plus the infinitive form of a verb. So let's practice making sentences with he, she, and it. So you can use your classmates' examples. Like someone said, he has to go to the mosque to pray, or she has to practice English every day, or he has to go to the gym. She has to go to her room, for example. So please keep in mind as well, when your subject is he, she, or it, and so on, think about the other words in the sentence. So like, he has to go to his room. So in your original sentence, maybe you said, I have to go to my room. You need to consider changing my to his or her. Okay, some good examples. They have to do their homework. Very nice. She has to eat breakfast. Good. He has to go to school. Good. She has to study harder. Very nice. He has to work. Good, 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 good. Nice. Nice. She has to go to the gym to lose weight. Okay. All right. She has to feed her kitty. Very nice. Very cute. Very adorable sentence. Okay. She has to struggle learning English. Oh, grammatically correct. We have some questions about it though. Okay. So many examples on YouTube and Facebook. He has to watch all your lessons. Woohoo! She has to clean her room. Very nice. She has to finish her work. Very nice. Great examples. Very nice examples. Okay, so I think you guys are professionals with using have to and has to. No troubles there. Great work, everybody. Okay, let's continue then to the last part. The last part is using this point in the past. This is very useful when you are at the end of the day and you're explaining to your family member or your friend the things you did that day. What did you do? What were your responsibilities that day? They're finished. So to do this, we use subject, just any subject. Subject plus had to plus present tense verb. So again, we're not changing the verb. Present tense verb here. And when we make negatives, didn't have to. So the negative is right, the negative and the past tense are right here. Did not have to. So subject had to, present tense verb. Subject didn't have to, present tense verb. So for example, yesterday I didn't have to teach a live stream. Yesterday I didn't have to teach a live stream. Yesterday I didn't have to go to the bank. Yesterday, I had to come to the office. So these were my responsibilities yesterday, my past responsibilities. Okay, some examples are coming now. I had to get up early to join this class. Very nice past tense example. Other past tense examples, she had to eat lunch. Good. On Facebook, he had to take care of her kids. Good. I had to buy a car. Good. Okay, and some other perfect tense examples still too. Good. You didn't have to do that. Tie, maybe. Need to. So here I'm focusing on have to for this lesson. Need to is used for the same thing, but we cannot use them together. So I have to or I need to, but not together, not together. I had to change a filter in my automobile or my car. Good. I had to clean my room. Great, good. We didn't have to take a test on English linguistics. Okay. He didn't have to do homework yesterday. Good. I did not have to get up late. Okay. I didn't have to play football yesterday. So when you make a negative, have does not change. Keep it have, not had for past. Okay. Also, a couple points about this negative one. Negative past is didn't have to. Didn't have to. So don't change have here. No change. Had in the positive changes. In the negative, didn't have to. She didn't have to do something. Didn't have to do something. Last night, I didn't have to clean my room. Good. On Facebook, I didn't have to miss any of your lessons. Okay. Also, keep in mind, I won't talk about this so much in today's lesson because I'm out of time, but when you are making a negative with have to in present or in past, make sure that the responsibility is a reasonable expectation. So we use have to for like reasonable responsibilities, things other people often expect us to do, like to go to the bank or to clean something or to take care of someone. So we don't use don't have to for like a crazy thing or an optional thing always. It's for like a normal expectation. So please keep that in mind. But I don't have time to talk about it so much today. We have to finish. I'm late as usual. So we'll finish there for today's lesson about have, has, and had. So lots of grammar today. Whew, it was a big grammar review, I think. But I hope that that is helpful for you. These are three very, very common ways of using have, has, and had, and they have very different functions. So I hope that this is helpful. Of course, if you have questions, please send them in the chat or leave a comment. YouTube is a little easier for me to check than Facebook, but send a comment and I will try to answer somewhere, somehow, in some video if you have a question. So please do that. But I have to finish today's lesson. We will be back. We'll be back next week. Next week's topic is talking about using should. I'm going to focus on using should and should not. So there are a few different ways we can use should and should not. I will focus on that next week. Next week, the date will be May 29th, Wednesday, May 29th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York City time. Please join us live or watch later. Live is really cool. So join us to talk about practicing should and should not. One more time before I forget again, the 31% off sale is this week. So please, if you are interested, check the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook for all the details. I have to finish there, but thank you as always for liking and sharing the video. We all really appreciate it. And thank you for your example sentences too. So enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.